Good morning, children. We are seeing about the plant kingdom. Under plant kingdom, we are seeing about the classification. So, plants are classified according to their habit, habitat, and then with their similarity and dissimilarity, they are classified under some groups. So, how the plants are classified? They are classified into cryptogams and phanerogams. What are cryptogams? The cryptogams are flowering plants and non-flowering plants. So, under cryptogams, what we are seeing about? We are seeing about Thallophyta, Bryophyta. So, these are non-flowering plants and flowering plants. Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. So, the cryptogams are classified again into Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. The Thallophyta again classified into algae and fungi. When we take about algae, the algae are considered to be the chlorophyllous plant because in them the chlorophyll is present. With the help of this chlorophyll, what they are doing? They are preparing their own food. So, they are said to be autotroph. Autotroph means which can prepare their own food. Where the algae are found? They are found either in marine or in fresh water. But their body is considered to be very primitive. For example, if we take Chlamydomonas, the flagella is helpful for movement and then cup-shaped chloroplast is present for preparation of the photosynthesis. So, and then when we take about algae, they are considered to be prokaryotic. Here the nucleus is there, but the nucleus is not surrounded by nuclear membrane. That is known as prokaryotic. And then these algae are considered to be autotroph. They can prepare their own food. When we take about the mode of nutrition, the algae are considered to be either parasitic, which live on living organism for their food, and then some of them are saprophytic. They are living on the dead organic matter. Then symbiosis, they show some symbiont. Both algae and fungi are living together for their mode of nutrition. So, the algae are considered, they are undergo this kind of classification in their mode of nutrition. And then when we take algae, they undergo vegetative reproduction. The plant body filament cut off into filament and each filament develop into some other part, that is asexual. Then asexual mode of reproduction and then sexual mode of reproduction, which produces the sex organs. Asexual without the formation of the sex organs. So, these are all about the, all coming under algae. When we take about fungi, the fungi are considered to be heterotrophic in mode of nutrition because fungi, they are non-chlorophyllous plant. In them the chlorophyll is absent. And then the plant body which consists the, so fungi, the mushroom is best example. Then they reproduce by means of the spores. The spores are produced during favorable condition. They are released, they are there. They are stagnant there during unfavorable condition. When the condition becomes favorable, the spores are released in the air and then each spore develop into a newer plant body. That plant body is known as mycelium. And then they fixes to the substratum by means of hastoria. Then when we take about fungi, their nucleus is said to be eukaryotic. Nucleus membrane is surrounded by nuclear membrane, that is known as eukaryotic. So when we take about algae, they are chlorophyllous plant, but fungi, they are non-chlorophyllous. Algae are prokaryotic, fungi are eukaryotic in mode eukaryotic. That is, the nucleus is surrounded by nuclear membrane. And the plant body of fungi is known as mycelium. Then algae, they are depend upon, they can prepare their own food, but fungi, they depend upon. So other organism, that is, that mode of nutrition is known as symbionts. So they depend upon algae, both algae and fungi living together. Example, lichens, they become the best example. And then the algae are sometimes considered to be parasite, living on living organism. Then some of them are saprophytic. Mostly the fungi are live on the dead and decaying organic matter. That is known as saprophytic mode of nutrition. From the dead and decaying organic matter, they take up their food and then they live. So that mode of nutrition is known as saprophytic. So they may be either parasitic or saprophytic or symbiotic in their mode of nutrition. So that's all about Thallophyta. Then we move on to next one, that is Bryophyta. The Bryophyta are also considered to be lower form of Bryophyta. They are considered to be primitive organism. Primitive mean lower kind of organism, because in them also no well developed organs are present. These Bryophyta are considered to be terrestrial. What is mean by terrestrial? The organisms which are found on land are known as terrestrial. And then they are non-vascular plants. Some of the bryophytes, they may be seen in water also. So where do they find? They are found either on land or in water. So that is known as amphibians. If an organism find both on land and in water, that kind of organism is known as amphibians. So as we are finding the bryophytes in water and on land, they are considered to be amphibians plant kingdom. And then non-vascular plant. What do you mean by non-vascular? So vascular plant mean they consist xylem and phloem. What is xylem and phloem? We are saying about the plant content. What is their main duty? Conduction. Stem conduct, root conduct. In which part they are conducting? Through this xylem and phloem. The plants are conducting their food material through this xylem and phloem. Where they are present? They are present either in the root or in the stem or in the leaves. The main function of xylem is to conduct water. Then the main function of phloem is to conduct food material. So these are absent in bryophyte because they belong to primitive kingdom, plant kingdom. So these vascular tissues are absent. They are considered to be non-vascular plants. Then when we take about bryophyte, they show some alternation of generation. What is meant by alternation of generation? Here they reproduces by two methods, that is through sporophyte and through gametophyte. So by these two methods, these bryophytes are reproducing. So first we are going to see about sporophyte. What do you mean by sporophyte? Before that, the algae are, as I said, it is primitive form. The plant body is not differentiated into stem, root and leaves. Instead, it is known as the thallus. And then leaf-like structure. It is leaf-like structure fixed to the substratum, which by means of not root, it is known as rhizoids. So they are fixing to the substratum by means of rhizoid, and the plant body is known as thallus. It is not differentiated into stem, root and leaves. So the plant which the thallus which bears the sporophyll, which bears the sporangium. Through the sporangium give rise to spores. Spores are found inside the sporangium. If the leaf, thallus are the leaf-like structure. If the leaf contain this sporangium is nothing but the spore-bearing organ. So if the leaf consists of the sporangium, that is known as sporophyll. Okay, so the leaf-like structure which is found in the bryophyte, that is known as the plant body. The plant body consists of the sporangium. The sporangium bears the spores. If the leaf contains the sporangium bearing spores, that leaf are known as sporophyll. This is the sporophytic generation. So through the spore, the spores give rise to gametophytic generation. Gametophyte. Okay, first what is sporophyte? The spores which are present in the leaf-like portion, that is known as the sporophytic generation. How it is produced? Through fertilization. This sporophyte, this bryophyte shows oogamous type of fertilization. Oogamous means the sporophyte, the gametophyte are producing two types of the gametes. That is gamete, male gamete and female gamete. Then, so this bryophyte, they reproduces through sporophytic generation. This is known as sporophytic generation, in which the spores are produced. Okay, that is the sporophytic generation. And then gametophytic generation is known as they produces the gametes. What are the gametes produced by the bryophyte? The male gamete is known as antheridium. The female gamete is known as archegonium. So the bryophyte reproduces through the gametophytic generation. Through sporophytic generation, the spores are produced. Through gametophytic generation, these gametes, male gamete, antheridium and archegonium are produced. So how this male and female gametes are produced? What they are doing? So during reproduction, the gametophyte contains the gamete, the antheridium and the archegonium. The male antheridium consists of anthrozoids. These are known as anthrozoids, that is male reproductive organ. And the female reproductive organ known as archegonium, which consists of the egg. So during reproduction, what is happening? This kind of reproduction is known as sexual reproduction, because male sex organ and then female sex organ are present. No? So that mode of nutrition is known as sexual reproduction. So this anthrozoid swim with the help of water, and then it reaches the archegonium. What does it produces? The anthrozoid mixes with the egg. Both of them reproduces the fertilized egg called as zygote. Okay, so the zygote is known as diploid. What do you mean by diploid? If the anthrozoid contains only one nucleus, the egg contains one nucleus. So if the anthrozoids and the archegonium both mixes during they fertilize together, and then they form two type of nucleus, 2n nucleus. As there are two nucleus are present, it is known as diploid condition. Okay, so this is haploid. The gametophyte is always known as haploid and the sporophyte is diploid. 2n. Then gametophyte is haploid, single nucleus is present. In Archegonium, single nucleus present. Anthrazoid, single nucleus is present. Both fertilize together. What they are doing? They give rise to zygote. This zygote, what they are doing? After completion, they are going to give sporophyte. This is the diploid sporophyte. The sporophyte is also diploid. This sporophyte, what they are producing? They are producing the spores. The spores after development, what they are doing? They are producing the spores, and then sporophyte continues with the gametophyte. This is known as alternation of generation. So, first the gametophyte is there. What they are producing? They are producing Archegonia and Anthridium and Archegonium. This Archegonium and Anthridium fuses together. What they are producing? They are producing male gamete, female gamete. After fusion, they give rise to, after fertilization, what they are producing? They are producing zygote. Zygote is the fertilized egg, from which that is the diploid sporophyte, the diploid condition, diploid egg, fertilized egg. This zygote give rise to the sporophyte. The sporophyte is also diploid, 2n. Then this sporophyte, what does it produces? Through meiosis. So through meiosis the nucleus is reduced. What they are producing? They are producing the spores. This spores after fertilization, after the fertilization is complete, what they are producing? They are producing the gametophyte. Thus the gametophyte alternate with the sporophyte. This is known as alternation of generation. Alternation of generation. The gametophyte is producing the sporophyte. The sporophyte again produces the gametophyte. So this kind of nutrition or the reproduction is known as alternation of generation. This is found in bryophytes. Thus bryophytes reproduces through this method. So the sexual reproduction is known as oogamous type. Oogamous means gametes are produced. So as the male gamete and female gamete are produced, this kind of nutrition is known as oogamous type of nutrition. Thus this gametophyte alternate with the sporophyte. Then here the sporophytic generation is dominant. It is very small. Then gametophytic generation is dominant. Dominant means very large in bryophytes. So when we take about bryophytes, they do not have root, stem and leaf-like structure. Instead what they consist, the plant body is known as thallus or leaf-like structure. It is the structure. See, it is the gametophyte, which is leaf-like or thallus, and then sporophyte is produced here. This is the sporophytic stage, which contains the spores. This sporophyte, so as I said, the xylem and phloem are absent. In the sporophyte, what are present? The capsule, setae and foot is present. These are doing that conducting part. The sporophyte is present at the behind the gametophyte. This is the gametophytic generation, gametophyte, and this is the sporophyte. And then they fixes with the substratum through the rhizoids. The rhizoids are unbranched. Then they are useful for the fixation. So this is about, so when we take about the bryophyte, what does it consist? The thallus, the leaf-like structure, the gametophyte, and then the sporophyte which bears the spores. So this is the structure of bryophyte. When we take about bryophyte, there is some classification. The first one is the Hepaticae. So under these are very primitive plant. In them there is no differentiation. The thallus is only present. And then next one is the Anthoceratae. This also the plant body, it consists of thallus like plant body and then fixes with the help of rhizoid. Example, hornbirds. And then the next one is the Mussy. It is somewhat some developed higher plant. It is a higher plant in which the plant body is differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Like this it is shown. So the Hepaticae, which liverwort is example, which is the very primitive organism, and then Anthoceratae somewhat developed. It is also looking like this one, the gametophyte and the sporophyte is present, and then rhizoid are useful for fixing. When we take about example hornbirds, when we take about Mussy, mosses are example. Here it show like a higher plant stem, root and leaves. So these are all about the bryophyte. Next we move on, and then economic important. The bryophytes, they prevent soil erosion. Soil erosion means the top of the soil is eroded by either water or by wind. That is prevented by this bryophyte because they occupies most of the soil land. So it is preventing the soil erosion. And then the sphagnum, what is it doing? It absorbing large amount of water. So this plant is used by the gardener. And then peat, it is one of the coal which is prepared from the sphagnum bryophyte. So for these bryophytes are important. So this forms the economic importance. The next topic is about pteridophytes. Like bryophyte, the pteridophyte also contains the leaf. They are considered to be first true land plant because they are occupying only on the land. But bryophyte they may even find on the water. But these bryophyte, where they are find, they are true land plant. These are considered to be vascular plant. What we said about vascular, the xylem and phloem are absent in bryophyte we have seen. But here this xylem and phloem are present. So they are considered to be vascular cryptogams. And then the main body is differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Here the plant body is divided into root, stem and leaves like higher plants. So when we take about pteridophyte, they are considered to be true land plant, and then they are considered to be vascular cryptogam because in them the xylem and phloem are present, and then the plant body is differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Like bryophyte, these pteridophyte are also showing the alternation of generation. As we have seen alternation of generation, the gametophyte is there, which is the small here. In pteridophyte, the sporophytic generation is the dominant phase. The gametophyte, which give rise to the male gamete and the female gamete. Antheridia and Archegonia. These Archegonia and Antheridia fuses together through the process called fertilization. Zygote is produced. This zygote, after development, they produces the sporophyte. The sporophyte is nothing but the spore bearing organ. The gametophyte, here also the spores, the gametes are there. Here the spores are there. This sporophytic generation, what they are producing? Spores. The spores, after development during the favorable condition, they produces the gametophyte. This is known as alternation of generation. This is also found in the pteridophyte. Thus, the gametophyte which contain male and female gamete, archegonia and antheridia, they produces the zygote. Fertilized egg is known as zygote 2n, and then what they produce, the diploid 2n nucleus are there, diploid sporophyte is present. Then what they do, they produces the spore. The gametophyte is known as haploid because it contains a single nucleus. So it is considered to be the haploid phase. So thus we can find the alternation of generation in bryophyte. And then the sporophyte, the spores give rise to this gametophytic generation, which is the dominant phase. Dominant means higher phase. Then the sporophyte is considered to be the dominant, the gametophyte is the small here. So when we take pteridophyta, they are considered to be true land plant, and then they are considered to be vascular cryptogam. The xylem and the phloem are present. Then the plant body is differentiated into stem, root and leaves. The leaves which bear the sporophyll are known. The leaves which bear the sporangium are known as sporophyll, which give rise to the spores. So in pteridophyte also we can find the alternation of generation, reproduction. So this gametophyte, which is the produces the male and female gamete, they both fuse together and form the fertilized egg, which is known as zygote. Then what they produces the sporophyte. The sporophyte, after during favorable condition, the spores dehisces from them, and then they produces the spores. The spores during favorable condition, they develop into gametophyte. This is known as alternation of generation. When we take about pteridophyte, they are classified into Psilophyta, Psilopsida, Psilotum is example, Lycopsida, Sphenopsida, Pteropsida. These are all the classification of pteridophyte. Psilopsida, Psilotum example, Lycopsida, Lycopodium example, Sphenopsida, Equisetum example, Pteropsida, Nephrolepis example. Then economic importance, mostly these pteridophytes are ferns. These ferns they are used as ornamental plants. And then the rhizome is nothing but the rhizoid. This is used as one of the vermifuge drug. And then the marsilia is used by food by some of the, they are used as food by some of the people. So this is the economic importance. When we take about difference between the bryophyta and pteridophyta, the bryophyta, they do not differentiated, their body is not differentiated into root, stem and leaves. Instead it is thalloid or leaf-like structure. But here it is differentiated into root, stem and leaves. And then bryophytes are considered to be amphibian. Both they are found both on land and in water. So they are amphibians. But they are true land plant. Pteridophytes are considered to be true land plants. And then here the vascular tissue, xylem and phloem are absent in bryophyta. But in pteridophyta they are considered to be vascular cryptogams. And then the dominant phase is the gametophyte in bryophyte. But the sporophyte is the dominant phase in pteridophyte, because the diploid phase, that is the dominant, because it forms somewhat higher organism. So it shows the sporophyte as the dominant phase. And then the gametophyte generation depend upon the sporophytic generation in bryophyte, but they do not depend upon one another. So this is about the bryophyta and pteridophyta. The rest we will see in the next class.